who are new to MATLAB, and also those who are learned in MATLAB. So we'll have a combination of both, right? So fine. So once again, let me just now start my screen, share my screen with all of you. All right. So let me just start sharing my screen. So, we'll begin our session here. As I was introduced to you, I authored a book with MATLAB. So I'll be trying to share some of the, those handouts also from my book. I wrote a book with the Pearson. So let me just start sharing that. The first slide will be from there. Yeah, 1 second. All right. So we'll be taking up these slides here. I'll be sharing all this as a notes to you. Right. So can you see my screen, sir?
No, sir.
Hello? Not yet?
Not yet, sir.
1 second. Okay. Let me start sharing my screen and share. Now, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So these are my actually handouts from my MATLAB book, which I authored with Pearson. So hopefully this will be a useful thing to all of you also. 1 second. Okay. All right. So yeah, you can see it, right? This is screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So this one will be a basic introduction to MATLAB desktop. So this is a book which I wrote with Pearson, and you may all refer to this. First of all, we will talk about MATLAB desktop. What is called MATLAB desktop, and what are the features in MATLAB desktop? I'll be actually not sharing my slides, but I'll just go directly to MATLAB and start showing you a demonstration. So, what is the overview of MATLAB desktop? What are the different commands and functions, which are basic commands, which we'll discuss in this session, and also write MATLAB code, M file, programming, and also see the demos. These are the 4 topics which we'll cover in next 1 hour. And then after that 1 hour, we'll also talk about some of the other tools like plotting and functions, right? So this is what is MATLAB? MATLAB is a high level language. Initially when we started, I started learning the basic, first software I learned in my school is BASIC. And then I learned Fortran, then I learned C++, then I learned MATLAB. So when I was doing my PhD at IIT Delhi, I started learning MATLAB because in C programming, it was becoming very lengthy, and tedious. So MATLAB is, you can say, 4th generation language, okay, which are developed based on many functions which are inbuilt in MATLAB, and it makes it very user friendly. Right. So this is a MathWorks website. Whenever you want to learn, have resources, if you don't have software, I recommend you strongly to actually try to get the software. Either you may have some version from your department, or you can get it from this website. Right. So that's what I recommend to all of you, that you should actually download this software. And from there, so here is a student version of software. This is available to everybody free of cost. So that the student version has some limitations, but still it's good for you. It is also called MATLAB Online. So that is also there. MATLAB Online is also available. So in case you want to, work online without downloading software, you can work online also. We'll try to show it in the after some time how to do that. So MATLAB is a very important language. It's easy to use. It's platform independent, and it has many features, right? It integrates with the hardware. So there are many software which work with the as a programming software. There are some software which are used for plotting, like TechPlot. There are some software which are used for simulation, like PSIM is there, Multisim is there. So we use in electronics especially. But this particular software, MATLAB, has a feature that it has everything in one particular, right? In everything in one. So this is why the advantage of MATLAB. MATLAB is also very intensive in terms of RAM. So, you should, somebody asked a question, which version of MATLAB should I download? So I'll ask you the reverse question. Which version of car you should learn driving from? बताइए, कौन सा version से driving सीखना चाहिए? Sometimes people are, very much fond of having new and new. Maruti कौन सा? Basic version. किसी ने बताया?
800.
हाँ तो हाँ वो 800 हाँ ठीक है वही चलता है. So what do you understand by my answer? Yes, Prashant sir, you're right. So why Maruti 800? Why not latest with the power brake and all those? What's the problem in the latest version?
If you are using older or the traditional version, means we can able to easily handle the latest version, like what you said,
Right.
power steering, power window, ABS, and so on. Sir.
Right. So you're all mechanical engineers. You understand automobile better than me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Correct. So basically, you got my answer. For learning, any version is fine. Doesn't change. Only thing is that only higher functionalities change. So if you have any version of MATLAB, in fact, I recommend that some of you can even learn from 2012 version, 2014 version, because that will be less intensive in terms of RAM and all. Right. So that's what you don't worry about the version. Anything is fine. Every year there are 2 versions because I'm author of this book. This is the book which I wrote with the Pearson publication, Programming in MATLAB, in 2014. So I got the software free of cost. So every time I get free of cost for every year. So that's one thing, but otherwise very costly. It's almost some few lakh rupees, at least 3-4 lakh rupees, if you want to have a licensed version. So you can download this version from this website, methods.com. Do not have to copy anything. I'll be sharing all my slides with all of you, so you can easily learn from here. Okay, I have this entire slides from my book will be shared to all of you. Right, so let's go forward. So MathWorks also, this offers you a lot of sources like, learning resources, tutorials, webinars, lectures, projects, and a lot of things are available. Just visit the website whenever you have free time. Right, so that's what I recommend to all of you. Now let's go forward. So by the way, MATLAB stands for what? Matrix Laboratory. Understand? MATLAB is Matrix Laboratory. Basically, because everything is in matrices. So that's what let's now start MATLAB. Not much lecturing, but more of demonstration, more of hands-on. And if you want, I will also give you practice questions which you can solve in a free time. So getting started in MATLAB, we'll directly go to MATLAB desktop. So let me turn on my MATLAB. If you see my screen over there, on the bottom side, I'm just having this logo of MATLAB, which once you install, it will be there in your shortcut will be there in your web desktop or in your toolbar. So fine. Am I audible to everyone? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Sir, you are audible.
Now this is starting my MATLAB. I have this 2021 version because I said I get it.
Nagajyoti garu ippudu vastunnaru.
There is a background noise. Somebody please check. Try to mute the speaker. The person. Yeah, there is a right. So this is what you see. This is called MATLAB desktop. In this session, I'm talking about the MATLAB desktop. What are the features in the desktop? All those things. So this will be a very important thing for you to learn. So once again, let me just change the layout here. There's a called layout. This is my latest version. So your version may be different, but don't worry about default. Yeah, this is the default layout of desktop, right? So layout is there. If you just do, there are different things, the workspace, current folder, all these are the parts of desktop. So you may enable them or you may disable them. But if you want to go to the default view, go to the layout and go to default. I hope you are paying attention to what I'm saying. You should not note down anything, just pay attention because this will be recorded, I guess. It will be shared with all of you. So don't worry about writing down, but pay attention to what is being asked, what is being shared, what is being discussed. Right, let's go forward. So what you see here is a command window. And I'm introducing you to MATLAB desktop because some people are very new to MATLAB. So then we'll just discuss about the programming in MATLAB and so on. So this command window is used for writing simple codes, right? So for example, say if I write out now, write x is equal to say for example 5, right? And y is equal to let's say 2. Fine. This is called simply writing assigning different values to the variable. So variables. Sorry, one second. I think I have to put it in charging. Just a minute, please. One second, please. Disconnection here. Just wait. My laptop got discharged suddenly. Just it will take a minute. I'll be back. So if in case anybody has MATLAB, they can also, try to work with me, but it will be difficult for you. Yeah, I'll give you time afterwards for practice. I'll be sharing my sheet with all of you. Yes, so I hope I'm back to this. One second. Just a minute, please. Yeah.
Arunya Institute of Technology and Science, Coimbatore.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
All right, sorry. My laptop got discharged, so I was just distracted.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So we were discussing about this MATLAB desktop.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So now let me go forward from here. So once I write x is equal to 5, y is equal to 2, these are now variables. So these are specific type of variables in MATLAB. Basically, MATLAB takes everything is in terms of matrix. So we learned just now the matrix laboratories MATLAB format. So this is basically matrix. So how do I see what are my variables? You can see your variables in the workspace here, right here, x, y. And if you want to see, what are your variables here? There is a command called whos. Please pay attention. Whos. These are your variables, right? So these are my variables here, x and y. So you see, x is 1 cross 1, and bytes 8 bytes double, and y is also 1 cross 1 and 8 bytes double. What do you mean by this? Anybody? 1 cross 1 is what? Anybody? You want to respond?
The matrix, sir.
The matrix of what size? 1 row and 1 column.
Yeah, one column.
1 by 1 matrix.
What kind of data it is? Double type. So character has 1 byte, integer has 2 bytes, float has 4 bytes, and double has 8 bytes. So this is actually kind of the matrix. So when I'm doing this, say for example, x and y is available here, 5 and 2, x is 5, y is 2. What you see is the extra line feed here. So to remove this extra line feed, I can use the command format compact. Please pay attention. Compact format. So I'll just now have no line feed, CLC. If I just use CLC, what it does is clears the content of the command window. So x is here, y is here. Then now there's no extra line here. And z is equal to, let's say, what's that? X into y. So please mute your phone. 10. Now what is this happening is that if I just do whos, it gives me x, y, z are 1 cross 1 matrix. It's an array. And it's not a normal kind of integer. It's an array. Array x, array y, or matrix. Array, when I say array, means a 1-dimensional matrix. Okay. So either one row or one column. So this is actually array x, y. So x into y, to multiply this, you should have, you understand this is not a normal multiplication. What kind of multiplication it is? Is a matrix multiplication. So you are multiplying matrices, right? So you understand that this is not a normal multiplication. So all the rules will be as per the law of matrix. Similarly, if you divide it or power it, so I have expressions like this. So for example, I have shown in my slide here. So there are many kinds of expressions like this. So for example, this is my expression here, a list of different kind of divisions. Operator addition, plus, subtraction, dash, multiplication, star, division. There's one more thing called back division. You can also divide, backslash. So that means I'll show you that in some time. Power is arrow, and this is conjugate dash. This is the example of this. So if you have plus, minus, multiplication, division in power, it's like this. I'll be sharing the slides to all of you. And let me go forward. This means what? What is the mean value of this, for example? Anybody? Yes, there, 9. How did it come 9 in the bottom? If you do it like this, so if you write this in the code, so whenever you want to practice MATLAB, you may just take my slides here, and you may just simply type it or copy it, and then simply paste it. You can see the demonstration of this right there. It's 9. So now actually, why this is 9? Anybody?
BODMAS.
BODMAS rule. So if I just change this thing, will it be same or different?
Different.
Yeah. So what is the lesson from this? Make sure that whenever you're using complex kind of equation or expression, you must make sure that you have proper kind of this one. You must have different brackets. These braces. Do not use any other braces. This is for any expression. You are only allowed to use small braces. This one. You can't use the square bracket or something like that. So if I just write something like this, it will be an error. It will be an error. I can't use this one, for example. Yes, it will give me an error because it's not allowed to use any other except this small braces. So even you have multiple things like this, you're only allowed to use this kind of braces. Example is this one. Can you see for a minute these expressions? X plus 2y in mathematical expression is in the MATLAB code is like this. So make sure that before even this braces, you must not forget that there should be a star. Automatically it will not multiply. You must use a star before the braces to make a multiplication. And you can't just have 3 and then braces 2 plus 6. It will not be multiplying without that. So that is the precaution here. So this is what I wanted to tell you. Now this one is clear. Anybody has any question on this? All these expressions have been shown here. So hope you understand what is this. X plus 2y. Make sure that you use proper braces here and everything. Power, division, multiplication, sine, cosine, tangent is like this. Sine square x. Why do I write like this? Anybody? Can I write just sine square like this, like left side? Yes or no? No, because it is written as sine x square, whole square. Hope you understand. Anybody has any question? Can I go forward if this is clear to you? Power, multiplication, division, all these are there, right? Is that clear? Yeah, I'm assuming it's clear. So now let me just use this one more thing before I proceed to this. So you can declare the variables like this x, y, z. All these are being shown in the workspace block. This thing. Anytime if you need something, just type it here. You get the value, and you can write something like x into y square, okay, by 2z, something like that. But make sure whenever you need some braces, 2z is not like this. You must multiply it always with the multiplier star. So this will be always like this. So this is the way you can actually operate as a simple calculator. You can use your command window as a calculator. That whenever you do not write anything, any variable to this expression, it gives the value to ANS. ANS is called default variable of MATLAB. So if you want to write something else, so you have to write down as this, okay, something like this. So you'll give the value to the P variable. This is the way these are this thing. But there is something very, very interesting here. Suppose let's say I want to calculate the area of a square. So let's say I guess just give us radius is equal to, okay, 5. And then I say just area is equal to, I can calculate pi into, okay, radius, RAD radius square. Now, what is the answer for this? It is an error. Now, I wanted to show you a principle here. Why this is an error? Anybody?
Case sensitive.
Yeah, case sensitive. Can you explain what is case sensitive?
Sir, previously we defined as RAD equal to 5.
RAD is
Yeah.
small.
Small
So,
letters. Here is capital.
Any R is capital, it will not understand. So
Yeah.
it is suggesting me.
Not recognizing it.
Yeah, this is the correct one. RAD square. So this basically, sorry, CLC. So I have this radius here, and then I say pi into area is equal to pi into radius. So I have to write a proper case sensitive this thing. This is my correct one. So what happens is that when I write radius is equal to 6, and then I know RAD is equal to 3. So I see what you see here. You see that all the 3 radius, pay attention to this. Now RAD small here. You see the workspace here is 5. RAD this is 6, and RAD is equal to 3. So basically, all 3 are present. When you write WHO, you see all the 3 radius are WHOS. Whose is the, you see that radius is also present. This is also present, and another one is also present. You understand that? That means make sure while programming, by default, you do not change the case, because MATLAB is a case sensitive language. Okay. So for example, I've shown it here in my slide. So in this one, I just for your knowledge, later on, those who are new to MATLAB, they can understand this, that MATLAB is case sensitive. Name, and name are 3 different variables. You understand this point? So these are same variable, same this thing, but the different case. Capital is small. This is one, just like we had this radius. Okay, RAD is small, RAD capital, RAD with the R capital. All 3 are present simultaneously. And if by chance, if you actually CLC, if you just have area and do this, and by chance if you do this, it will mean different. Are you understand? And by chance you do this also, it will mean different. So in other words, all 3 are there, but different cases have. That means these are 3 different variables. Okay, this is allowed legally. It is always present. These are all allowed. Same variable is allowed, but different case. But don't do this, because it might confuse you and it might give an error in your calculation. That's one point I want to explain to you. Now let's going forward. We'll try to. So what is the convention of this one? For example, can I write variable convention? RAD 1, RAD, let's say radius 1 is equal to 4. That is fine. But if I just write RAD dash 1, will it be okay? No, because dash is not allowed. So any kind of symbol, or let's say any kind of so what is allowed in variable is the it has to be, pay attention, letter, a number, and underscore. Just like you have your email ID. You can't use anything as a variable name. You can use a letter like alphabets, and you can use numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can use underscore. But you can't use dash or slash or hash or delta or dollar sign or hash or whatever special symbols you cannot use in your variable in MATLAB. These are some basic rules about this. Now, if you understand this point, I can go forward. So, there are MATLAB data, double type data by default. So what I'm doing here is right now, I have been doing different calculations on this CLCs to clear the screen. And there is something called command history. So when you see that, there is other window. We discuss about the command window. We discuss about the workspace, and we discuss this is the current folder. Current folder, what you see here on the top of this is a current folder. Right now, D MATLAB Module 1 MATLAB programs is my current folder. And if you want to change the current folder, you might change it by simply, browsing from here. Let me just show you there. 1 second. Yeah, you can browse it here. You can change the current folder. There is some small arrow here. You can browse and make the current folder as your desktop or anything else. So that becomes your current folder, and the content of the current folder are shown here into this current folder window. I'm introducing you to Matlab desktop. Command window, which is for commands. The workspace window, which stores the variables. The way this is displayed here, all these variables are being declared. And the current folder window, which shows the files in the current folder. Right now, I have this current folder. I might change from this one. This is my current folder. These are my files. So anything in the current folder can be opened directly from here. You can run it like this, just like this particular this program. This is for factorial I have designed. I'll show you that how to make it. Factorial 5 is equal to 120. So I could run this program simply by dragging the file here. So that means you can run a particular program or Matlab program by just dragging the file, dragging this one from here to here. That's not the normal way. This is actually a file which has program for factorial. Right. So this is the way I'll talk about this thing. I just wanted to show you how the files are displayed in the current folder window. Right. So this is the current folder. It may have some kind of figures. It may have some models or any other file. You can just see that. It may also have some kind of plots. This is a figure. So that way we opening a figure. It's something different. Okay. This is another kind of okay. Sorry, this is actually GUI. Don't worry about it right now. The current folder contains the current folders in your. Whenever you open a program, save it. It goes to current folder by default. Okay. All right. Let's go forward. So now on the top of this, you also see there are certain kind of toolbars, right? So 1 second. Just you see a new script, new live script, new. If you open a script file, it will open a programming file where you can program, you can code it. Similarly, there are other kinds of things we'll see afterwards. Somehow this is interrupting my view. 1 second. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm here now. Now actually, fine. So you see here, there are various kinds of shortcuts here, like layout. Layout, what it does is layout actually helps you to set a layout. For example, default layout, or you may set a layout and go to change. Say you want to show current. Say there's something called command history. Attention. I want to bring the history to this layout. So I just. Please mute your phone. Docked. So what you see here, I see the correct command history. Now tell me what is the command history. I think you all can see this command history. So whatever I've been doing here, it goes to the history. Okay, just like when you browse in internet, it goes to a history. Similarly, here the history is there. In the previous session, I've done this kind of calculation. All these are recorded in the history. So whenever I write something, it goes to the history. Okay, and it is being saved there. So whenever I write, for example, area, okay, AR, then arrow lagaiye, arrow is coming from something, and when I say R, okay, or you just place an arrow there in this arrow area, CLC, this one, this, all these are coming from where? These are coming from my history. So when you want to say, get something back from history, just write the first letter of that. Area is equal to this, area is equal to this. All these are already stored in the history. So from history, actually you can copy something. You can even run something from here. For example, I have done this calculation in the previous session. So I may just use this kind of thing. Just now we did, right? So you can use this and simply copy, and then either you can just enter it here. It executes it, or just copy it and paste it into from there to there. So this way you can actually execute all those things. So for example, these are the previous days commands. So all those commands are actually stored into this, right? So these are the ways you can actually access these things. For example, these two, if you enter this, it will show you plot. Correct? So not plot, this is just a data. Plot, you can plot it. So this is giving the value of xy. Okay, and then you can plot xy. So previous plot x comma y. So you can plot it. So what did I do here? If you pay attention to this, I just use the previous command from the history, which is defining x value from 0 to 4 pi and y is equal to sine of x, and then plot. If you didn't understand it properly, let me show it again. So I just call X coming from the history, Y from the history, and then I just said plot. It's all coming from the, I did not type it again. I just got it from the history. So this is the way you can actually use the history to access the previous commands. Hope I'm clear. That is what. So where do you get history from? You got the history from, we'll discuss about this plotting some other time, but after some time, maybe today itself, but give me some time. So now actually all these are actually being stored in the history. Fine. So I got the history from layout, and then I have command history. I docked it. I can pop up. You can open that as a separate window. Okay, or I can even close that. So it depends upon where do you want to place this. So layout, once again, command history and dock. It goes to this side history. Hope you understand. Similarly, in the layout, you also have something else. For example, you also have here is the current folder toolbar. You can also select, and you may want to remove the workspace. You can remove that. You may want to remove the current folder. You can remove that. What you have is only command window. This is the way you can change your layout. But once you have this layout, you can drag and resize these things and see if you want to execute something. You can actually execute it from here. Shift. If you press shift here, it selects the multiple commands, right? Like this. So that will simply you can take it to file, save it in a file, or simply execute that from the history. This is a use of history. So if you want to remove all the, go to the default layout, go to layout and go to default. Now what you are seeing here is one more thing before I go to the next topic of programming, making a simple program. I'll show you something more interesting here. So what you can do here is that, like I'm writing something here. Let's say X is equal to this and Y is equal to this. So all these are values are being shown in the command window, but I might like to, sometimes the size of this is very small. So you may, change the size of this by going to layout, and there is not layout. There is a settings here, preferences. See that preferences here on the top, preferences. When you go to preferences, there is a setting here. Okay. So there is a setting here. That setting is it allows you to set your fonts and everything else, font sizes. Okay. So font size is right now 20. I can make it smaller or bigger. So it changes my font size of my, there's a system font here. You can change to any other font, and that way you can actually, do that setting here, and it will show you into this. So when you say OK or apply, just see the font size is now different. Somebody has made this mark here. Can you remove this? Organize this, or remove the person who is doing the marking here there. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
Anyone who had made this mark, kindly remove.
Otherwise, will remove you. You have one option: either remove it or I'll remove you. Any questions from anybody, please? There are some features to lock people from doing this. So otherwise, fine. Let's go forward.
So I am trying, sir, to avoid such type of means by participants. I am trying to search.
Yeah. We'll debar them from the workshop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
Anytime anybody else repeats it, we'll debar them.
Yes.
All right. So let me go forward. So you can try to do that. Preferences also can be used to set the. You see that there is a color coding scheme. Please pay attention. When you see colors in the preferences, I said font. You see the colors here. I hope you're paying attention. So Matlab uses the color coding. Comments are in green color. Keywords in the blue color. Strings in the violet. Right. So these are the different color schemes. If you want to change the color scheme, it will actually change your color code. So let me show a simple program. It will make it clear to you. So don't change the color scheme, but normally if you want to change it, you can do so. Right. So this is changing the color scheme. You see here, when I do these changes, it changes here on this side. Sample is shown here. So Matlab uses the color scheme. Why color scheme is useful? Anybody? Are you able to hear me? What I'm saying? Why this color scheme is useful? So you can set the colors in the settings, right?
The
Preferences.
inputs, outputs may be differentiated.
Yeah, very good. I mean, madam, you can, in fact, you can, when you're typing a program, you can differentiate whether you're making a mistake, right? Debugging is, it also helps in debugging, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, let us do a programming then. Let us do a programming to help you understand color scheme. By the way, I've just changed the font size, so I may change the font size back to bigger font so that it's easy for you to see. So that is possible by here, changing the font size from here, and that way you can actually apply and do that. Right now, let's go forward to this. Now I'm going to make a simple program. Anybody has any question? On the top of this, there are also some other kinds of things like, you know, there are help here, question mark. I'll just talk about help, but maybe help after some time. There's also called, I just talked about preferences. The symlink is here, and you can also have some other shortcuts which we'll see in the later on. Okay, you can also have open a variable, new variable, import data. There are many kinds of other kinds of shortcuts are available in the toolbar. Right, so let's go forward. So fine, let's go forward. Now I'm here to show you about a simple MATLAB program. So let me just clear this screen, CLC. Before I go to simple programming of MATLAB, all these variables are in the workspace. When I do WHO, it shows me my variables. Okay, these are my variables. Or when I say WHOS, it shows me my variables along with their details of the sizes and the data types and so on. So when I do whos, it shows me the size and bytes and all those things. These are my, but there is one more thing called CLC to clear the screen. WHO is to show the variables. Now I just say clear. Please pay attention. Clear P. What happens to this? What happens to this? My P is now deleted from the workspace. You understand? If I want to clear, let's say there's no more P. P was here, but P was not. No more P is not there in the workspace. So to clear something, you just use command clear. Clear P. If you want to clear, say, multiple things, for example, RAD, you want to clear that. You want to clear, you know, let me say clear RAD. Just want to keep one of them, clear RAD space, or you know, just use space here, or comma. Comma I think may not work, but let me try. Clear R there and clear X. Hope will work. Yes, no, this is comma is not allowed, so I just have to use space. Space. What happened? Anybody? Did you see the workspace? What happened?
It has cleared RAD, RX.
All these things, right? So that means you can remove these things. So remaining are there. When I do clear all, please pay attention. These are some basic commands. Clear all. What do you see here in the workspace?
Everything is cleared.
Yeah, that means there is no more assigned variables, right? Those are the things, right? So this is the way you can understand. So now there is no X, Y, no nothing. So everything is clear. So in the starting of a program, you can just use clear all. Now let me make a simple program in MATLAB. I hope you're paying attention to me. So here is a new script. So whatever I was doing here was there in the history. It is there I was just doing in the command window, but nothing was saved. If I want to save it into a file, or if I want to program it, you know, I have to use a new script file to be able to program into a file. New script. This marking can't be removed, sir, right? Okay. This cannot be removed.
Sir, let me try, sir. I am trying it.
There is an option called, you can block people to write anything. These are the problems with the different software. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I think it will work. Okay, let me please write a simple program for you. So I can write a program by writing like this. So I hope
is it remote, sir?
Yeah, remote. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Program for you can write a program for, let's say, you may ask me, what do you want me to do? Simple thing, you tell me. Anybody? You have anything that you want me to do with the MATLAB program? You tell me what can I do? Any
So
simple program?
Fibonacci series or something it can write.
Oh, Fibonacci series you want to write? It's a difficult program. Tell me something simple. That we can write, of course. But I'll talk about. I have to talk about arrays for that.
Simple quadratic equation.
Yes.
Then
Quadratic
fourth root of a number or something.
Again, it's a difficult one, but I can write down that also. You want to write the roots of a number. All right. So let me do it. Roots of. Let me find out the roots of an equation. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
No, you want to write down roots of a quadratic equation, right? So program for roots of it's a good of a you have to help me quadratic equation. And what I'm doing is that I'm doing just doing a simple program made by, so this is called comment. What I'm writing here is called comment line. Okay, made by R.N. Patel. So every time you write this percentage sign, it shows a comment. So see the color scheme. The green color is for comments. I hope you are paying attention. Now tell me, I don't have to declare the variables. There's no integer float. Everything is in double, right? So this is a Matlab data type. So I just have to work on this. So what do you need to write a quadratic equation? So A is ax square plus bx plus c. So, am I right? So first of all, I may have to ask the user, okay, A is equal to, okay, or I may just say that there are different ways to do that. So ABC you want to write, right? Coefficients of the equation. So I may just have to just say that I may either use array. Let me first use simple values. So A is equal to input. There is something called, you can simply write A also. A is equal to 2. Let me simply write it like this. B is equal to 4. And C is equal to this. Semicolon is used. I didn't tell you about the semicolon here. Basically, what happens is that when I say A is equal to 2, it is showing the value here. But when I say B is equal to 4, it is assigning the value, but it's not showing. So this is called, this is a semicolon operator. This is like, the output is not displayed. When you do not use this thing, it displays the output here, right there. But although this is assigned, the value is assigned, but the value is not displayed into this. Therefore, you should use this semicolon at the end of every line, because we don't want to, it's kind of echoing the value. We don't want to echo the value every time, so you just use semicolon. Generally, that is preferred. Right, so let me go forward now from here. A is equal to 2, B is equal to 4, and C is equal to, say, for example, 6. A, B, C. These are the coefficients of quadratic equation. I'm just giving the value. Later on, you can give inputs also. Now, tell me what is the roots of this equation? Okay, x1, first root, x square plus bx plus c, okay, is equal to 0. Something like this. What is the value of this x1 here? Anybody? There are two roots. You have to help me in the programming, at least the formula part. What are the two roots of this? Minus b. So let me just, are you listening to me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So minus b. So what is the formula? Roots x1, x2. Help me. Come on. X1, x2. Let's just write a comment here. I can write comment also here in between. So these are
Minus b plus or minus square root of a square plus c square by 2a. Sorry if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, correct. X1 to minus b. Okay. Plus minus
under root b square minus 4ac.
Under root of
b square minus 4ac.
B square
minus 4ac.
Okay. Minus 4ac
upon 2a.
4ac
divided by 2a.
2a is in the numerator or denominator? 4 into ac.
Denominator.
And the whole divided by, or only minus b is outside this?
No, whole divided by 2a.
Entire thing, no?
Yes,
sir.
The entire thing is right. I'm getting, it's a fundamental thing, but just, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Come in. All right, so let me just, why don't you, this part can be taken as, it is just a comment. So I'm not writing this is just like you see green color. Just wanted to ask you. So basically, I have to, first of all, before finding the roots of this, I may just have to find this thing as a, let me just say P. or let me write directly. So x1, x2, x1. Let me just do that. Make sure that you have proper this thing. X1 is equal to minus b. Okay. Please help me if you understand the syntax of this. Plus, okay, square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. This is correct? Any mistake on this?
No, sir. It's okay. Yeah. True.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
And then x2. I hope you're paying attention to this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm using for this. I'm trying to discuss this MATLAB for those who are very new to MATLAB. So hope it will help.
Sir, should the 2a be within braces?
That's very good comment. You are right. Thank you for the comment. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It will give
So
error.
that's
Otherwise.
compulsory.
It's compulsory. It will give me
Yeah,
error.
okay, sir.
That's good thing. So be careful about that.
Yeah. True, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is x2, right? So I just say x2, and then I will say that the roots, then there is command called display. Okay, display. The roots. I'm just showing you programming of the equation. Okay. Are all right. This is what do you understand by this color coding? This was for which color? This color is for which one? What is this one according to you? It's a string. It's a text. And display. I can display my value of actually I have to display one by one, but if you want to display it together, I will just use this array symbol x1, x2. So I hope you understand what I'm doing here. I'm displaying this array here. This is array, by the way. So both the values are here into this. Hope you'll understand. Am I done now? Now this is now displaying my value of the x1, x2, and this is now end of this program. Anybody has a question, please ask me. Let us be a little interactive here. I got the answer of x1, x2. Hope everything is fine. It will run. I have to save this file. It's an M file. You see M file. Let me just give the name as qroot. Some quadratic roots. Qroot file is there. So qroot.m is there. So when I save this thing, it goes to this qroot.m file. You see on the top of this qroot.m is there, the file name. M file is MATLAB script file. This is a simple MATLAB program made with the simple commands. I can show you some different things over there, but hope this is clear to everyone. Anybody has question, please ask me. Then I'll run this program. Can I run this? Let me first run the program. I run the program here, and as soon as I run the program, it will go to my this thing, and the roots are complex roots -1 plus. I think it's about root 2 times I. I guess this is -1 minus root 2 times I. Again, this I've run it twice here. So again, in place of running the program from there, I just write qroot. Please pay attention. I just write qroot.m is there, file name. Don't have to go to program. Once the program is saved in a particular folder, simply type qroot there. It should show in the current folder, right? You see the current folder here? Current folder is showing the qroot.m. The file is saved here. You can run it from here, qroot.m, or you can also simply drag this from here to here, run this qroot.m. 3 ways to run it. What are the 3 ways to run? One is
to run it after the program is written. The second one is to simply write.
You can run it from there.
Run from there, yeah. The second way is to in the run window you can directly write qroot, the name of the program .m.
Name of the program without extension.
Yeah.
Third one is
and the third way is to drag it from the left hand side the current folder and then drag it to the function box.
Drag into this that runs this. Or you can also run it by this run command. You see what it does? It when I drag from here, it does a command. Automatically it runs run d drive MATLAB module 1 MATLAB program qroot.m file path. You follow me? Any question from anyone?
Sir, a quadratic equation, should we define what the roots are, or it can find on its own, sir? There may be a predefined function, no, sir?
Understand? You are right, madam. You're right. But I made a program. So here I'll look. Okay, I'll come back to your point. But let me show you. There is also a method to input the values. Input, in place of giving the value here, enter the first coefficient or whatever you say. You just give some value of a first coefficient. Okay, A. So this is a text. You are trying to give it. This is prompting the user to give input, the user input. So this program, here is a comment, here is an input from the user. Here is I can just give this also, enter the value of B or something like this. So what happens is that in place of doing that, you may just enter the values of A, B, C. Okay, let me just enter the coefficient B. So this way I can actually define my user can give my input into this, and I can actually find the answer from this, right? So this is the way you can actually also do that. So what is happening is that here you are prompting the person to give the input. So what is the difference in this one? Let me show you that. Run the program from there, and what you see on this one is coefficient A is asking me A is equal to say B is equal to say 2 and C is equal to say minus 6. Whatever I give, the roots of the equation are same. What happened to this? Let me just do it again. Q root 1, 2.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, Doctor sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Please mute your phone. These two roots are equal. These are numbers, right? One root is 1, one is minus 1.5. You understand? In this case, the roots are positive. I mean, sorry, not positive. These are integers. 1 and minus 1.5. In this case, these complex numbers. You asked me something. Yeah. So she was asking me a question. That can I just find the roots by function? Probably you're asking. So just yes, of course. Matlab also has its own function. So I'll talk about it. So for example, 4 to minus 6.
Dr. Patel, sir,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sir, there is a call from Academy that inaugural is just about to start.
One second. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Yeah. So I would like to take your half an hour to instruct your session.
No problem, sir. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Fine. So there is some kind of question from AICT, right?
Yes, sir. Atal Academy inaugural function that I have to run here for an 20 minutes. Sir.
Fine. Of course, yes. You're welcome to that. I'll also tell. We'll come back to this session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, surely.
Thank you.
रंगता कॉलेज ते कॉलेज ने काय रंगता जोगी रंगता क्या है चलो दर मारो नहीं मैं आता ये मैं काम मारे यू कम
वो लोग स्कैन करके कहीं तो भी आप अपलोड करते हो Not audible. Not audible.
Sir, you are not audible.
Somebody can send a message in the chat box. They may not be able to see what you're saying. Shakarwadi sir, you can send a message to them.
Yes, sir. I am running it.
So AICT is undivided focus for quality education and creating a complete ecosystem for quality teaching learning process. Patel is our high group didactic flagship program for creating the Patel fraternity. Yes, it's going to be a team of highly motivated academic leaders in our country. The importance of all emerging areas like AI, ML, etc. have been constantly growing, and artificial knowledge-based industries have now occupied the center stage of development, not only in our country, but across the globe. We Indians are very fast learners. So due to COVID, there is a paradigm shift in our teaching and learning process pedagogy. The way in our higher education imparting instruction in laboratory workshop has now changed. So our ensuing education is highly collaborative, cross-institutional, multidirectional, interdisciplinary. So the new emerging areas on which AICT is focusing on AI, ML, blockchain, cybersecurity for establishing better convergence between man and machine and explore the new pedagogy. Well, we must adopt the new technological tool for effective delivery of instructions. Now our students will be our equal partner in our academic self-paced landscape of online learning. Of course, now the medium of instruction will be more focused. Like in regional languages, AICT has developed an AI-based translation tool for translating more than 12 regional languages. So this year onwards, the BE first year curriculum will be available in regional languages also. However, this Patel Academy is a portal-based activity which is fostering research innovation and entrepreneurship through training in various emerging areas to faculty and students. I would like to mention here the few flagship programs of AICT and their initiatives in line with the National Education Policy. In multidisciplinary and holistic education, AICT has provided relaxation in land norms, conduct of non-technical courses in technical institution, and merger of the institution within the city limit to create multidisciplinary higher education, imparting holistic, high-quality education. So teaching, learning, research, and community engagement, clustering of existing unitary academic institutions by the same trust society has been allowed, transforming them into a multidisciplinary institutional cluster through the collaborative process of resource sharing and governance. Yes, our IDEA Lab program is an idea development, evaluation, and application, is promoting multidisciplinary education and research, strong capital and industrial linkage. We are organizing hackathons, thematic and global, national security like Manthan are organized to address the live problem solving and attempting education. So revision of curriculum with multidisciplinary approach with a sprinkling choice of from humanities, social sciences, liberal arts, music, dance, drama, Indian knowledge system, sports, etc. have been incorporated in the curriculum modification in professional education. 18 to 20 credits in niche areas to earn a master's degree along with major to create engineering to create emerging technological expertise. So scheme for promotion of interest, creativity, and among students, spices, energizes the students, clubs, and chapters to mentor, mentee, and holding among students. And so forth, the AICT examination reforms policy. More than 10,000 faculty members have been trained now by the AICT examination reform policy. through 43, 43 days workshops conducted across the country in collaboration with NITers and the Kerry Tech University. So these are the flagship programs, and a few more I'd like to say here, like AICT Students Learning Assessment, which is now known as the PERT. So AICT Students Learning Assessment Portal encompassing the multiple disciplines. More than 80,000 students have been registered so far, with 55,000 completed the assessment. In addition, 1,200 faculty members have also taken the assessment. For equity and inclusion, our scholarship schemes like Pragati Scholarship Scheme has been now increased from 2,000 to 10,000, promoting girls. Sakcham Scholarship now supporting the All Divyang and Prerna Scheme preparing SC/ST students for higher technical education. Sunath provides a scholarship to orphans, wards whose parents have died due to COVID-19. The wards of armed forces and central paramilitary forces acted in action known as Shahid. So accessibility of education with technology intervention for Divyang and children with specific learning disability like have been created. So online and on-time disbursal for these scholarships, Aadhaar-based DBT transfers. One of our flagship program is the Global Outreach for Education. So training program is offered for the purpose of degree in collaboration with university abroad. So QIP scheme incorporating a semester-based learning faculty members in foreign university, pursuing PhD, AICT, QIP, foreign university, promoting implementation of best practice and collaborating skills. AICT Metrics scheme, providing opportunity for students to pursue internship and incubator support in Canada and credit transfer for one semester student exchange program. In skill and vocational education, so various skill development schemes for AICT providing national skill qualification training. Industrial training to students. These are the short-term training programs, and the long-term diploma degree in vocational education has also been started. 72 technical institutions are approved for running the EVOC and EVOC courses in the last year. For SWAYAM, that online books program, study with active learning, young aspiring minds. So SWAYAM is an initiative of MHRD, one of the world's biggest massive open online course integrated platform, is designed to achieve three cardinal principles of education policy, that is access, equity, and quality. So marching ahead with the new national education policy, AICT has also developed an internship portal for enhancing the student skill, employability opportunity, and transform them into industry suitable workshops. Our Indian knowledge system cell has also started AICT. So Indian way is both sustainable and strives for the welfare of all. So the grand vision for the IKS division of the Ministry of Education at AICT is to train generations of scholars who will show the Indian way to the world. If we want to become the knowledge leader in this country and be the Vishwa Guru, it is imperative that we understand our heritage and teach the world the Indian way of doing things. So IKS division of ministry is also started. So these are the few flagship programs where AICT is marching ahead with the new national education policy. So I again welcome you all for this prestigious AICT Training and Learning National Academy inaugural ceremony. It's our great proud privilege today that we have the chief guest, Mr. Vineet Vajpayee, with us. And there is an announcement that due to some emergent meeting, Honorable Vice Chairman Sir is not able to join us today. So I am directly switching to invite our chief guest. So before inviting him, I would like to say a few words in his introduction. Vinitji leads the digitalization strategic customer network leader and commercial programs for BASF Corporation. He leads key initiatives such as MES, Patel implementation, Salesforce, CRM rollout, digital marketing and strategic growth projects at BASF, and in the Asia business community, in training development, and has mentored, coached several interns. In 2019, Vinitji moved from procurement to this role as a procurement director, North America. He led a large team of procurement managers and was responsible for multi-million dollar spend. Prior to the procurement, Vinitji was the business manager, fuel additives and polyisobutane, and led a team of professionals in identifying new growth opportunity and grow the business. Vinitji came to BASF from SIBA in 2009 at SIBA. So Vinit took a delegation from the Asia region to North America as a global marketing manager and lead the development of key product solutions. Oversee OEM approvals, developed pricing, market strategy, and global customer segmentation before this role. Vinitji was the business head for the lubricants, additives, and imaging coating additives at SIBA. Prior to SIBA, Vinitji has worked at Bosch, Rexon, SKF Group, and BP Castrol. At these operations, his responsibility focused at KAM, launching new products and leading business growth, emerging and developing markets in Asia. Vinitji received his MBA and undergraduate in mechanical engineering from India. He lives in New Jersey, USA with his wife and 2 sons. The weekends, Vinit volunteers at a Japanese non-profit foundation in NYC focused on environmental awareness and improvement and Taikes English to underprivileged children. Yeah. We're really proud to invite you, Vinitji, for addressing the academic leaders from India and through the light. Welcome, Vinitji. Please, over to you. Vinitji, it is not audible.
Thank you. I was on mute. So thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Datta. Thank you, everybody from ATAL for inviting me for this opportunity to speak to all of you. First of all, I just want to say thank you to all of you. I mean, you are in the academic world. If it was not for people like you, I would not be here. So in a similar way, all the people who are successful, students who go into the industry, who go overseas and take up big jobs, they are there because of people like you. So on behalf of them, thank you very much. Today, I wanted to focus mainly on a topic about hiring process, because there are so many students who are coming out from PhD. They are all very talented, very qualified, and everybody wants to have aspirations, wants to grow. And many of them obviously want to become the CEOs of large companies like Microsoft, Facebook, and Twitter. That's what we're seeing today, right? Not only that, I mean, there's also potential in the manufacturing arena where I work. So there's a lot of opportunity. Now, what I am seeing, and I've done a lot of hiring, at times I have spent 25% of my time during a year just hiring people. So I just don't hire for myself. The way things work is sometimes you get invited to panels. So most companies in the US have a panel process. So in the panel, there will be the hiring manager, and then there will be colleagues like me, others, maybe somebody from HR, so that everybody brings a different perspective outlook on the candidate. And I think that's a very, very important thing to focus on, because these things are changing very rapidly. And Dr. Datta mentioned in the virtual world today, which we are operating, we are even doing online interviews, right, faced on the camera. And a lot of people have never done an online. So always my first suggestion is please do mock interviews. Very, very important to do a mock interview. Just record yourself and After that, the most important thing, which is very difficult to do for a lot of people, is to share that with some colleagues and get constructive feedback. It's not very easy. I can tell you, it sounds very easy, but to show that video to your colleague or friend and tell him, hey, how can I improve? Can you make some suggestions? And then you have to take that with a pinch of salt and really write down those points, think about it. A lot of times, we all have talented people, we also have a lot of egos. We get offended when somebody says, hey, you should have looked at the camera like this, or you were smiling too much, or you should smile, or your answer was not right, and your English was not proper. This is called constructive feedback. It's very important to get that feedback and sit and reflect on it, because it's only going to help you, right? So one very important thing is, please do mock interviews. You can even do face-to-face interviews with your friends, colleagues. You can put down some questions and do that. It helps. It helps build your confidence, because that's what is very important. And many times what we see is the students, especially the new ones who are coming out of university, because they do hire people directly out of university, they're thinking to answer the question, they are very nervous, right? And obviously nobody wants to hire a nervous person. The person may be very talented, maybe the best student of the class, but if you don't perform in the interview, it's tough. It's just like performing on stage during a theater play or in front of a camera. You're doing a TV show or something like that. You can't be nervous. You have to be confident. So you have to imagine yourself in the same way, which means you have to practice. Everything comes with practice, right? So that's what I think. The other aspect which is very important is when questions are put to you, listen very carefully to the questions. If you can always write them down. And the best way, what I'm starting to see to answer questions, is by giving an example. So if somebody says, okay, tell me what is your biggest achievement? So biggest achievement you can say is, I created sales of $200 million. That's fine. But how did it? What was the story behind it? What were the challenges you faced? How did you work with everybody? How did you start the process? What was the strategy? How did you sit together? How did you bring the team together? And a lot of focus is on teamwork. So the job may be an individual performer job wherein you work alone, but they want to see how can you lead a team or can you work in a team? How do you work in that environment? Very, very important. And you see, organizations are very large. There is no organization which is made up of one or two people as you're doing a small business. Most organizations are big organizations. You have to work in a team, which means you have to learn about lead. So that's what people are looking at. How did this person go from 0 to 200, right? So what were the steps? What was this? How did he break down the problem? What did he do? And again, here you cannot be answering this question to one hour, which means you have to really practice these 2-3 things. So you have to go through this question in your mind. You have to think of what are the key points or high level sum which will capture all of this. Which then again takes me back to the first point which I made was we have to practice. So we have to really ample of information available about questions. There are so many nice YouTube videos as to how you should answer to we hire you or tell me something about yourself. And again, there's no right or wrong. You have to listen to videos. Okay. So that you have to again improvise. This is like very important for any question you should have in your bag, or what I call your kit. Your toolkit to have examples every question and to learn to anticipate questions. And people are initially interviews used to be 2-3 hours. Now people want to do it in 45 minutes. In 45 minutes, 4 people are going to ask you questions. And you have to be very quick. Very important aspect. Another one I've seen very often, question that comes up is how do you manage conflict? Obviously, whether it's personal life or official life, or even when you're driving your car, it's all good to be conflict. So, but working environment, it's always going to be different, which means it will lead to conflict. Somebody feels this, you get this, but how do we not keep high conflict? Otherwise, the project or the organization will not progress. So, how can we? So that is a very important question. And again, you have to think how I should answer that, or give the extent a person has had no work experience. It's more about how does this person manage conflict during a project in college or whatever. So, and the next important is, sorry to interrupt you, obviously is in channel supervisor. Please check if there's a conflict or a difference of opinion, how people management. They always say, like they say the customer is always right. People always say the boss is always right. That's not always true. So you have to then figure out, okay, how my things this thing. Viniji, there is an interruption in your internet connection. Yeah, Viniji, can you check from your end? We have lost your audio and video.
That's okay. I'll get that. I think there is some connectivity issue with Viniji. We're trying to resolve it and establish it. So today we are getting the 1200 FTPs from Patel, and more than 1.5 lakh teachers have been trained so far. And this year, this financial year, we are concluding and to touch the training figure up to 2 lakhs. So recently, the World Book of Record has also recognized us maximum faculty here. So this year we have also received. Now we are planning to break our own record and train more than 1.85, approximately 2 lakh faculty members to this shuttle. So this is all because of your kind support, love and affection to us. We are able to part the instruction and training in the all emerging area, niche areas, particularly from the AICT. And this is all this whole facility is the portal based facility. So certificates is automatically getting generated, and faculties, as soon as they will complete the program, they will get the certification. So this is all portal based activity, and by the grace of God and all your love, we are running flawlessly. There are no grievances from our stakeholders regarding any of the activities. Few teaching problems with the new coordinators and faculty members, that likely to be happen from it. So this is a very prestigious program. Again, I will call to Vinit once again, or else we'll move ahead. Gargiji, if you want to say something, you could please continue. Brother, we have lost the connection with Vinitji and due to connectivity. Thank you so much, Vinitji, for spending time with us and saying about the very important thing about the hiring, how to conduct the mock interviews, how to train our students, what the better hiring opportunities, how to deal with the conflicts and the work in the space and the family. So these are the very personal and soft skills which are required for the students, and definitely our teacher will take it up. We are moving ahead, and I would like to invite Shri Patilji, the Regional Officer, CRO Hyderabad, to extend the vote of thanks. Patilji.
Dear all, good morning. The wonderful time we have all spent here together for the past, which has been so encouraging and enjoyable. It is our duty to express gratitude. I consider it's a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who have witnessed it as a memorable event. On behalf of the Patel Academy, AICTE, Regional Office SCRO Hyderabad, and the coordinator of the various FDP programs, volunteers, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Chief Guest of this inaugural program, Honorable Vinit Bajpayee, Strategic Customer Network Leader and Commercial Program Manager at BASF New York, USA, who enlighten us on the specifically hiring process. What is the panel process? What are the perspective output? How to tackle the online interview? What is the importance of mock interview? Importance of sharing the recorded video to the colleagues and to get the feedback from the colleagues to develop yourself, how to develop and build the confidence. How the listening of the question in interview is very important to become a success. How do you work in the team? How to lead a team, etc., etc., which definitely help to the participant and their student volunteer for facing the interviews. Thank you for your valuable time, sir. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. I would like to express my sincere thanks in absentia to our Honorable Vice Chairman, Professor MP Punia sir, for his valuable guidance always. I express my sincere thanks to the advisor, Madam Patel Academy, and Dr. Amit Datta sir, Deputy Director, Patel Academy, who explained various initiatives of AICTE. What are the different initiatives which is there for the development of institutes or the faculty member? How that initiative are useful for the development of the students, various innovation programs, what is the importance of the Indian knowledge system, etc., etc. thank you very much, sir, for giving that importance and explaining such a valuable information to the participants. Thanks a lot, sir. I would like to thank all the speakers, coordinator of FDPs, as well as their director and principals too. I heartily congratulate all the participants for their active participation in this event of FDPs. As you know that an event of this dimension like 79 FDPs are going to inaugurate today and start today. And it cannot happen in overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated officers and staff, including Dr. Girdhari Lal Garg and all the team of Patel Cell, AICT headquarters. A very big thank you to all. Last but not the least, I am very much thankful to the competent authorities of AICT, IT consultant, and e-governance cell, social media like YouTube, Meta, Twitter, and media cell of AICT for their coverage. Thank you one and all, those who directly and indirectly involved in this program. Wish you a very happy learning. Jai Hind. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Patel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, yes, sir.
Mr. Chief Guest, we are now concluding the ceremony. Thank you for joining.
Supreet ji, may we start?
Yeah, sure. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Rahul, please play Saraswati Vandana and Deep Prajwalan.
या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा।
Good morning, everyone. I heartily welcome our chief guest for today's inaugural session, Supreet Nagaraju-ji, who is heading India and Asia Pacific for the education as well as digital media for Adobe India Limited. Our very own visionary chairman, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, who has changed the face of AICTE and is navigated the future of learning in technical education by various initiatives and his untiring efforts working non-stop. An amazing team at Atal, Dattaji, Gargji, and all other my colleagues. Every Monday, we start these FTPs, that is faculty development programs, with the sole objective and motto as to how can we make our faculty members motivated, energized, competent, and ensuring that all components of teaching learning, that is, whether it is core competency in the subject, pedagogy, examination reforms, or making them aware of the ongoing technological trends in industry, academia industry linkages, this knowledge transfer, everything we try to equip them with so that when they go to their class, their transactions are highly enriching their transactions are highly beneficial for our students. So why do we need these FTPs so rigorously and so continuously? It is based on three things: the changing profession, the changing nature of students, and the changing nature of teaching learning. When we talk about changing nature of profession, we can't even imagine to what extent and to what length a teacher touches the lives of a student. And with this paradigm, with this pandemic, there is a paradigm shift in teaching learning, where our teaching and learning tools
Yeah, Sanjay sir, can we begin now?
Yeah, sir, you can start. Let me make you post. Yeah.
Yeah, please make me post here.
Sir, you can start.
Okay, fine. So participants, hope you are online. I mean to say you are connected.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, thank you. So we'll continue our programming in Matlab session, right? And then I'll talk about matrices. So let me just start sharing again. Sorry, this one. Right. Back to the place. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Any question on this? So we have been discussing how to make a simple program. It's a program. The following are the components of a simple program. You can have comments. You can have input by user. You can have equations. You can have comments in between also. For example, here also you can have comments. Finds the roots. Likewise, so whenever you might want to write comments, you use this percentage sign, and then followed by this, you can have, try to use this semicolon at the end of every line, because that will not display unnecessary things. Otherwise it will display. So I use this array symbol here, x1, x2. So I'm displaying in the same line. So now there was a question from one of the participants. Can I just find the roots directly by MATLAB equation? Yes, of course. So let me run this again. If you see this previous example, which I've just shown some time back. So when I did that, this one, roots, Q roots, so coefficient is supposed to say 2, 1, 2. Okay, let me give some other 2, 1, 2 minus 2 and 4. Again, it's giving us a problem. Once again, 1 minus 2 and 6. It's giving me anyway. Fine, doesn't matter. Let me just give anything. I'm just trying to get some positive roots. So maybe 1, then minus 2 and 1. 1 are the roots, right? 1. So there is also another way. Roots is a function. 1, 2. Pay attention. 1 minus 2, 1. 1 minus 2, 1. This is an array. I'll talk about now array. How to write a matrix. 1 minus 2, 1. No, not this way. Sorry. 1. Yeah, I think it's correct. 1 minus 2, 1. Correct. An array format. Correct. Same answer. 1, 1. Right. So similarly, roots 1 minus 4 and 2. What are those? These are the roots. So 1 minus 4 and 2. So from where I'm getting these numbers, 3.4 and 0.8. If I run my program, roots, okay, with the value, sorry, not that. Once again, I'm getting the roots from here, and I can also do the same thing by my program, that is Q root. I just made the program here, Q root. The values are 1, okay. The next one is minus 4, all right, and 2. Same, 3.414 and 0.58. So what do you understand from this? What is this one? This particular. What do you, anybody has some idea about MATLAB? You can find the roots by a MATLAB function, roots. There are thousands and thousands of MATLAB functions for different things. One of them is roots. You can find the, for example, you can find the roots, you can find the eigenvalues, you can find the eigenvectors, you can find the Laplace transform, you can find the differentiation, the integration. There are functions for everything in MATLAB. Okay, so what is this one? Anybody? From where do I get this answer? Both. This is what I made just now, but this is what MATLAB does it by its own function. So what is this roots now? In this case. So now I'll talk to you about this. If you don't know about this thing, there is a help here. So just please pay attention. If you don't know what is this is actually MATLAB function. So MATLAB function help roots. So MATLAB has different kinds of help. Now I'm telling you how to use help in MATLAB. Help is very useful. This is called quick help. So by the time, let me just minimize this window. This is quick help. So here roots find polynomial roots. Root C compute the roots of the polynomial. So you can have roots for any polynomial. If, for example, so this is giving some kind of a description about the roots function. Help roots. So I can have roots for anything. So 2, 1. Okay. What is this one now? What does it represent? Anybody? This equation represents what?
Coefficients, sir.
No. What kind of function it will represent? Yes, ma'am, please. Earlier, what was it representing?
Quadratic,
When I did this, yeah. Earlier, what was it representing? This is representing what?
Cube.
X square minus 4x plus 2 equal to 0, right? This was representing. Now, what will this represent? It's a polynomial with the 4 roots. What will this represent? Anybody among the audience?
Quadratic.
Yeah, what is the equation now? Can you tell me equation?
X
Square minus, sorry. Let's start from here. 1 plus 2x plus 2x square minus 4x cube plus x to the power 4. Any question? These are, I just talked to you how to see the MATLAB function help. There is one more help called documentation help. So you see here question mark on the top. So this question mark, you can press on this. If you go to this one, MATLAB documentation, and when you find out roots, search for roots here on the top in this searching roots here, it will actually show you different options. So roots, what do you want? This is just like keyword you're searching for. The previous one is the help, which is from the command window, that is called quick help. When you know the command name, but if you don't know the command name, you can write some keywords here. You'll search for the keywords and you have to select the keyword from this list. So polynomial roots, this one is a function, and it will show you a description about this one. Syntax is this one, roots P. Wait a minute, if I can increase the size. Now I can't increase the size of this. Okay, description, roots, and then equation is example here. You see the example here, and it's giving the roots. You can open it in the file, and you can understand. This is one example of 3x square, how to write that into this, and roots of P are these, and roots of P, and this is some other examples. This is actually somewhat a detailed help that along with tips here and along with algorithm, and there are many things here that you can see from this help. This is called documentation help, MATLAB documentation. Anytime you are caught up with any problem, you can try to make use of this question mark on the top of the toolbar, and that is the also part of MATLAB desktop. So that's what we learned about two roots. Now there is I have just finished one topic of basic MATLAB and MATLAB programming. If anybody has any question, otherwise I'll go to the second topic, that is matrices. I'll talk about it matrices in short because time is short, and then I'll also talk about plotting. So maybe some of the basic things about plotting. Plotting is easy thing to do, but you tell me what do you want to learn next, then I'll cover it next half an hour. So we'll break after half an hour probably. So I'll be covering whatever you want me to cover. I can talk about function, I can talk about matrices, but matrices are very important. I have to discuss matrices a little bit, how to write a matrix, dot operation. Those are very important fundamentals. So any question on this particular first part of it, a simple MATLAB syntax programming, and also seeing help, all those things we discuss. There's one more thing called demos. So when you want to learn something about something, demos is a example sets. So demos, you write down demos here, and it takes you the documentation and where you can find out demo examples for various things. For example, if you want to learn about, say, these are the topics here listed on this. Say, if you want to learn about matrix operations, so you can see here the demos of that. And if you want to learn about plotting, for example, so let me show you plotting 2D plots. So here is a 2D plot example. And from this, you can see how to create a 2D plot from this. So you can just simply copy this thing, or you may open this as a live script. There is something called live script. Okay, M file is script file, but live script file is something that Matlab has. It's a new Matlab version has. You can open this live script file and it will show you the code. Normally what happens is that the code is in the M file, but when you run the code, it goes to the command window. So in this live script, both can be seen together. So if you see that, if you run this live script, these are the 2D plots. If you run it, it will show you the results here itself. So you can see one below other. So if you just like this will generate this plot. This will generate this plot, 2D double plot. This will generate the bar chart. This will generate the stairs, error bar, the polar plot, the stems, discrete plot. All these things you can experience it. You can actually see it live. You can change some things here. You might even change the values here. It's like a demonstration of a particular topic. So for example, if you want to change the values of this, okay. Yeah, this is wait a minute. Yeah, okay. So I can change the values. 1 second. Just okay. Yeah, I can change the values here. 1 second. Live editor. I can show. Just no. So open live script. Okay, open this example. These are demo examples, and from here you can run it. See that, or you may also run it here. You can show view is there. There is a view. View, you can change the output to the right. That means it will show on the right side of this. So if you run this one now, live editor, run, and it will show the output to the right side of this. You see, this plot results from this code. This code. If you click on this here, if you click on this, there's a bar chart. We click on this, you can see the plot and the code at one way, no, in the side to side. This is actually, and I was telling you that you can even change the values here from 5 to say 20. So it will actually immediately change it here itself and show in a classroom. You may want to show this is the now change plot, right? So or 5 to 10. So that way it will change it right here, and you can see live description of whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's what you can do by examples. There are hundreds and thousands of examples in Matlab demos. The word is demos. Demos in the command window, it takes you to the examples. Any question on this part of this? So these are plotting commands. The plot command is used. So before that, I'll talk about some arrays in matrices. This is, as you see here, this is an array. Okay, it's an array or matrix. Data is being created here. So I was telling you that by using the help and demos, you can learn many things. You just type demos, and if, for example, you're from mechanical engineering, so if you see the demos of just one last thing, then I'll go to the matrices. Demos of, for example, what is your subject here? For example, let's say basic mechanics. So there will be some is loading here. So you can see here toolbox from I think it's not loaded into this particular. I have not loaded that thing here, but once you load it, it will show you here. Okay, so this is not showing because once you have to load that thing. The same is drive line, sim electrical is here, but mechanical I have not installed into this. But if you install it, will come. Sim escape, sim animation. All right, doesn't matter. So you can see, for example, this is a 3D animation. So you want to see 3D animation, you can see some of the examples from this, and there is a, you can directly open that. Sorry, okay, I was here. Yeah, 3D animation. So this one is one of the things. So some program has been made here. with the help of this. So open that thing and run the program, and you might be able to observe that this kind of some kind of a 3D images, right? Like CAD CAM or something like this. Okay, this is 3D imaging. So that is made with Matlab, by the way. So you might be able to move it here and there, expand it. I'm just open it randomly. What it is, I don't have to check it there. So this is a 3D imaging with the Matlab, right? So this is also possible. So this code is also available here. So you might be able to see that. You understand? So this is a demo section of Matlab where you can see multiple demos of different areas as listed into this. So these are called examples or demos. Okay, all right. So let me go to this next important topic, which is Matlab Metrics. So I also have the slides from my book. Will be sharing with you. So this talks about matrices, second unit of that, and its applications. So I'll not go to the slide, but I'll just show you quickly next 10-15 minutes about the matrix. So how to generate a matrix? X is equal to, first of all, we'll talk about array 1, 3, 5, 7. I can use comma, or you can use a space, okay, or okay, whatever combination of the two. So right, so these are sorry, okay, I was just doing that. Yes, this is one way create matrix. So x3 is equal to what? I think some of you may knowing about Matlab, but some of you may not be familiar. So x3 is equal to third value of this, and x5 is equal to fifth. Index starts from x0 is not a valid value because this is a 0 is not the index. 0 normally in C it is x0, x1, x2. Here it is x1, x2, x3, x4. There's something called end also. If you want to go to the last value of that, you can just do the x end, and that will give the 11. X end minus 2. Come on, what is the answer to this? Anybody who's paying attention? End minus 2 is what? End is the last value. End is also just like it's a end is a index. Last value, last but 2. What is the answer for this? 7 is the answer. Correct. So now actually we also have multiple access to the values. Just if I want to access this x4, is the value is actually this one, and x2, suppose you want to have this one, multiple values. So basically actually it's x4 comma 1 is actually just like no, this is not proper. There are 4 rows. This is row number, column number. So 4 comma 1 is not proper, but x1 comma 4 is right. Correct? 1 comma 4 is same thing, x4, because 1 row and how many columns? 3, 6 columns. This is the, so if you have single index, it is the row number is just the element. No, just single index is used for single dimension. But when you have matrix, we'll use this kind of dimension. I'll come back to that. Second two dimension. But there is also one more method of doing that. X is this, and I just did x4. I just got the value as this one. But if when I do this one, what do you call 1, 3 end? Will it be right? What will be the answer for this? Anybody, quick. What is that? Will it be correct or wrong? Correct. What do you mean by this? It's a group. When you have multiple elements, you can group it in a square bracket. So what do you mean by this? X1 is 5, x3 is, sorry, x1 is 1, x3 is 5, x end is last is 11. Any question on this? This is the way you can actually create a group of values. So this is one way of creating a array. How? You just use this. Yes, please. I did this creation of array by using this x equal to, if you see that, how did I got the array? This was the way I created the array. There is also alternative method of doing this. This is called indexing. So this way you can have the values of this array, right? So you may want to replace the value of this. So for example, I have this x is equal to this. If I want to change this to -2, so the fourth value -2, you don't have to go again. X4, just replace it by -2. That will be changing it to -2, and it will not change the other values. This is changed by -2, and this is the way you can also change the values. And if I just assign the multiple things, let's say x 1, 2, and 4, Okay, I may just have to change by -2. All right, so -2, 2 and 0. So that way you can also assign multiple values to array. This has changed x1 as -2, x2 as 2, and x4 as 0. So that way you can change, modify the elements of your array or matrix. So now actually I'll also talk about a little bit more, because I'm going a little fast because of time. I can also create the values like this. X is equal to 1 colon 2 colon, let's say 11. 1 3 5 7 9 11, which is easy. This is another way to create an array. Of course, this is because it has equal spacing. You can do that, but okay, you can't create the. If you want to create different values, you have to use this square bracket. But if you want to create an array of equal spacing, this is the first value 1, 2 is the difference value, and 11 is the last or limit of this one. So if I just do this one, y is equal to, for example, 2 colon 2 colon, okay, 20. So colon operator is this very important operator. What will be the answer to this one, please? Anybody? These are the odd numbers. These are what numbers? Even numbers. Correct? This is the way you can create index. If I just do this 1 colon 10, what will be the answer? These are the difference. I can use this colon operator. I'm talking about this very important operator that's called colon operator. This shows your the arithmetic series. Okay, and here it is difference is 1. If I just do 10 colon 1, if I don't assign a value, it goes to ANS. 10 colon 1. Okay, what is the answer? Quick answers.
Descending order 10 to 1.
Not correct. Empty matrix. Why it is empty matrix? Because difference -1 is not possible. By default, it will not take it as -1. You have to go by this. Correct, madam? You understand?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So fine. So this is very important one. Colon operator. I can use colon to create a series, or say for example, I can use colon to create a say data sets between 0 to pi by say 20 is the difference. All right, to 2 pi. So it will quickly create my elements of x. And if I say y is equal to, some time back I did that, sine of x. So it will create me sine of all those values. And if I just say plot, x comma y in the red color and pentagon marker in dash style, this is a plotting command. It will plot it into a particular fashion, which I have defined with a plot command. So I am just going a little faster now because many of you may be familiar with some of these things. So these are plot commands. You can see more about it from demos, Matlab plot demos. Any questions so far? So please ask me, otherwise I have to move on. All right, so then let me go forward with this one. So CLC is to clear this screen. So I was just talking about this array creation. You can create an array like this by using this, colon operator. So there is one more thing called linspace. Okay, for example, if I did this one, okay, it was giving me x1 to 11. So if I just do this, let me just change it a little bit. 1 to 20. The last value is not 20, it is 19. Why it is so? Last value is not 20, it's 19. Because this is a limit, right? So if I want to create y is equal to, for example, okay, linspace is a very important command. Linspace creates the equal values between 2 points, x 120 and how many values are there? 10 values are there. 3 plus 3 is 6. Yeah, 10. This one is also an AP, but this series y is different from series x. In what way it is different? In what way it is similar? Quickly. Linspace is a specific command which creates also a series with the equal spacing.
Last number is 20 here, sir.
Last number is 20. Very good. Last number is 20. And difference value is same. Difference is different. You see, difference is here 2. Here difference D is defined, but here difference D is calculated by this. The first is 1, last value is 20. It means something. It means there are 10 points between 1 and 20. So if you want to know more about linspace, so just use help. I just discuss with you how to see help. Linspace, it will show you how to see help on this particular command. So this means that linear space generates row vector of 100. Okay, here linear space x2n generate n point between x1 and x2. Okay, this is what is definition of the linear space. It generates data between the 2 points. The number of points is defined by u n. So when I did this x1 20 10, it was generating 10 points between 1 and 20. That was my interpretation of this linear space. So linear space 1 20 10 generates 10 point between 1 and 20. This is very useful for plotting. So by the way, I have to come back to my original discussion of arrays. This is you create an arrays like this. So now let's create a 2-dimensional array. A is equal to, or we create a matrix 1, 3. I can use space or comma 5. Next arrow is okay 4, -2 and 1. And third arrow is, let's say 2, 3, 2 and -1. Something like this. So I have this A matrix. So this A matrix, make sure this is a case sensitive. So you have to always use capital. So better than that, let me just use small because it's more easy to write here. All right, this is my A matrix. A matrix is here. When you have to change the row, use the semicolon here. Okay, to the next row, right? So this is what now. If I just say A, okay, 2, 3, what does it mean? Second row and third column. All right, A. Okay, all right. Say 3, 3, 1. Third row and first column. This is the notation of this. So if I just do this, I have a question for you. A, okay, I want to get the second row of A. How will I get it? Into Y. I want to store this x is equal to second row of A. So how will I get it? Because some of you may be familiar with MATLAB. So tell me.
2, comma
how
all,
will I get
semicolon.
2, comma all or end.
Very good. You all know that. 2, comma, for those who are new to MATLAB, 2, comma, 1, 2, 3. Correct? This will give me the second row because 1, 2, 3 is the column number. So I have just given a group of this. So, right. So I can also, somebody said correctly that you can also do the same thing by is equal to, in place of 1, 2, 3, I can use all. All right. So I can use all. So now this is all. This is index. All means column here. Column gives you all values of that. Please mute your phone. Now, actually, I'll ask a question to some of you who are familiar to MATLAB. I want third column of this A. Third column. Or how do I get A? So I just said index. I can use this all and 3. Third column, right? Row all third column is this one. This way you can get, you use this column also for indexing. Now I have a question for you. Quick question. I want the corner values of this. Tell me, how do I get the 4 corner values? 1, 5, 3, -1. Can I get that?
Sir?
Yeah, anybody? Can I get the corner values of this one?
Question please. Question please.
Yeah, I'm not able to get you. Please, can you repeat again?
The question please.
I want the corner values of this 1, 5, 3, -1 into store into B. B is equal to corner values of A. A, help me. How do I do that?
Sir,
4
1
corner values.
End or something.
End. What is that, ma'am? No. Think about it.
So 1,
just combination of the
1,
index.
A, 1, end may help, I think.
No.
Like end.
1, 3, right? Comma 1, 3. What about that?
Fix the.
Is it correct? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sir.
What is it doing? 1, 1, 1, 3. 1, 1 is 1. 1, 3 is 5. 3, 1 and 3, 3. This is the way you can actually extract some data from your. This is very important because when you're working with the arrays, when you're working with somebody has some messages, I think, okay. Yeah, some people are answering the chat. So thank you. Yeah. So, right. So you can have this kind of notation by this. I can see your chat. I was not seeing that. So you can answer it. This way you can create the values of this. So if you want to replace, say for example, some things, you can do that. So this is a simple indexing. I hope you understand how to have this matrix and notation of matrix, how to change the values, how to get the different sets of values and so on. Very useful for different subjects like signal processing, image processing in different subjects. This is the way you can create values. I have sheet number 2. Actually, I have practice sheets for each of the topic. So whenever you get time, I can share those sheets with you. You can try to practice it because some of you are familiar. Let me go on with the next topic. So I have multiple things here in this practice sheet in this notes. So for example, let me quickly show those things for you. So I was just talking about this indexing, and then you can go through this notes here. Length of A, it gives you the number of elements of this thing. Size gives you the row and column numbers. And this is character of, say, Sitaram is one of the names. So it also says, it's just like a character string, right? So if you just do this, say for example, if I want to write character string, so if I just say name is equal to, let's say, okay, R.N. Patel. So I have just, this is also a string, an array. So if I just say name 3, what is the answer to this? Any guesses?
It will be space. N, so N.
N is not
Patel.
right answer because space is also a character. So N, let's say 4, 5 to N. What is the answer to this?
So P and L.
Patel.
Yes. Patel. Yeah. So that way you can carry, just like indexing in the matrix, indexing also is true for strings or characters. These are all explained in my notes here. Whenever you get time, you can go through this. Similarly, predefined values, pi is defined. So these are predefined values. So I'll be sending these things for your reference. You can go through this. All these are predefined values. By the way, what do you mean by INF? When I see INF means what? Infinity. Okay. NaN. When you get result as NaN means what? It's not a division. It's just like 0 by 0. What is the value of 0 by 0? Anybody?
Definitely.
0 by 0.
Non-defined.
It's not defined. So you'll get the answer as NaN. Similarly, these are some predefined constants. I was talking about this. Yeah, one more important thing is that when you have to write something into continuation, the operation is, this is the dot. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and continuation is 5, 6. So that it will not take it. If you enter it, it will take it as the next row. But if you just do dot, it will combine this in the same row. I hope you understand. So these are the values which I discussed about this colon operator and linear space. I talked about this. Log space is for log series like geometric progression, 10 to the power 1 to 10 to the power 5. 5 points between those as a GP log space. There are hundreds and thousands of commands like that, and you have to just see indexing. I just talking about indexing here. These are all discussed in my slides. You can go through this later on. Now talking about special, let's say, operation, that is multiplication, division. There are many commands like diagonal, and many kinds of things are there in this. So let me just talk about this operator a little bit. So when you want to multiply, divide, it happens in a matrix space. So A is equal to, for example, 1, 2, and 3 minus 1. All right, so this is B is equal to, I think it's very basic one, but some of you are new to Matlab, so I'm just covering this. Otherwise, we'll skip this portion if you want me to. So this way you can have multiplication A into B will be equal to, multiplication of row to column. 1 into 2 with this thing, you get 6, right? This is the value. But A dot star B is something different. Dot operator. Yeah, tell me what is the difference between these two. Dot or star B. So I'll talk about this operator called dot operator. Very important operator. Then will generate a series. As somebody asked me, Fibonacci series. I'll generate a series with the dot operator. Dot is a very useful operator. We just discussed about colon operator. Colon is used for indexing. Colon is used for creating an array, creating arithmetic series. But dot is very useful for operation called element by element operation. So tell me the difference between these two quickly. A star B and A dot star B.
So A dot star B scalar operator. Scalar product.
What does it do? A star B, what does it do? it multiplies the matrix A to B, right?
Yes.
This is this matrix. This is multiplication of matrices. But dot star B is not really matrix multiplication. It's a as she said, scalar operation. I call it as array operation. A and B. Pay attention to this piece. A dot star B is actually operation of 1 into 2, 2 into 4, 3 into 2, 6, minus 1 into 1, minus 1. That means element to element operation. For example, if you have this x is equal to, let's say 1 to 5, all right, and y is equal to, let's say something like this, 1, 3, and 4 to 6. I hope you can understand what I'm doing here. So these are some different values. So x star y is possible or not? Yes or no? X star y is allowed or not? No, because this is dimension is not matching for the operation. But when I have defined x like this and y like this, x dot star y is not possible. But however, x star y is not possible, dot star y is possible. And then if I just do this x, for example, x dot power 2, is it what do you mean by this? Individual
Elements
power of x,
each
element of x, right? 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. 2 dot power y is possible or not?
No.
Come on quickly. Possible. It means 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 4. So this is either you can have dot for 2 matrices, 2 arrays. You can have dot for an array with the constant or constant within an array. Likewise, you can have this kind of thing. See, if you want to multiply x and y and x dot division y, it will divide 1 by 1, 2 by 3, 3 by 4. Likewise, it will divide into this. So this is the way you can use the dot operator. A very handy tool to operate, element by element operation. We call it array operation, or somebody said scalar operation. So I hope you understand. Now we have a question now. Okay, let me have a question for you. So I have in my notes, and which I'll be sharing with all of you, I have designed some questions. Let's see, this is a question on topic number 2. So these are the matrix operation questions, which you may try here. There are some examples here, and there are also some questions like this to solve an equation. So you can use matrices. So let me take a typical question. Somebody asked this question to me in the morning. So I'm just going to solve this question in front of you. Generate this series, which we call it as a Fibonacci series. The Fibonacci series is the sequence which has 0 and 1. Sorry, what is the Fibonacci series? You all know that 0, 1. So for example, the series is like this. So the Fibonacci series is like this. Okay, this is the series 0. Okay, the next one is 1. Next one is what? 1. Next one is what? 2. Next one is what?
3.
Next is what? 5.
5.
This is what? 8.
8.
Likewise, if I want to generate this series, okay, by using Matlab program, how can I do that? Anybody? The question says that, here is my question here. You generate this Fibonacci series, 10 terms, and display them, and find out the sum of the first 10 odd terms. So I'll do that question here with the help of a simple Matlab program. Here the operator dot is very useful. So let me show you a program here which generates this series here, right? So because time is short, I'll directly take it to the program. Open this. I have made this program Fibonacci.m. So 1 second. It was into this folder of Matlab programs, which I just see that Fibonacci series. Yes, yeah, here it is, Fibonacci.m. Yes, this is a typical, application of dot operator. Please pay attention. Before I do that, let me show you another file which is actually called, made with the SLX file. Sorry, the live editor file. So Fibonacci sequence is this one, right? So this is the defining sequence 0, 1. I just defined that. So the next term is some of the previous two terms. This is possible to design by using Matlab, what do you call Matlab loops. You can use loops, but without loops also you can do that. So it's application of this dot operator. So first of all, to generate a series, you have to find the nth term. This formula Tn plus 1 is equal to this will be applicable. So to program this particular problem. So you see that Tn plus 1 is nth term. Next term is, if you place 0, what do you get? Quickly, if you place 0, what do you get? If you place 0 into this, what is the first value? First value is 0, right? 1 minus 1, 0. Correct? I know your time is short, so let just give me 5 to 10 minutes more because of this inauguration program. We are running short of time. Yeah, what is the value for the 0 n equal to 0? Come on. Am I audible?
Yes.
0, 1, power 0.
So 0.
0. What is the value for n is equal to 1?
0.
It takes some time. It's actually the value is equal to 1. For 2, it is like this. So I have made this program here. This formula will generate the nth term of the series. So this is a application of this. So I have got the value 0 n equal to 0 to 9. Okay, and when I generate a square root of 5, just see how do I write this into MATLAB? SQRT 5, and I take this as a remember this formula. So if I just write this series equal to 1 by a, remember that a is equal to SQRT 5 plus 1 by a by 2 power n. Okay, this dot power. Okay, with dot here, and then minus 1 by a by 2 dot power n. This is 1 by 1 plus root 5 by 2 power n minus 1 minus root 5 by 2 power n, and divide by root 5. This one. This will generate the with the array power. We call it array power. It will generate the entire series. You see the series here? It's a MATLAB program. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. Are you getting my point? Without using a loop, this particular formula generates the series by using dot. Now, I hope you are not wondering how it operates. See, I just like I did this thing. Please pay attention. How it operates is like this. When I have this, for example, x is equal to something, okay, y is equal to something else. When I just did this x dot y, what do you have? Individual things are divided. So what happens is that, and when I did this 2 to the power, right, 2 to the power x, y, it was giving the values of this. This dot power can be used to generate a series. Are you following me? This generates a series. Dot power can be used, or no, dot list can be used to generate a sequence. This particular sequence is giving me using the dot power n. N is equal to what? It's a sequence of 1 to 9. Sorry, 0 to 9. And then this is a sequence of 0 to 9. And this is the constant. When I do this thing with a sequence n, it will generate a sequence of this Fibonacci series. Are you following me? If this is a constant, 1 by root 5, and if I multiply the power with n is a sequence, n is a series of 0 to 9, it will generate me 10 values, because with n power, it'll have, this term will have, the first term will have 10 values, 0 to 9. This will have 10 values with the series, minus sign, 10 values divide in the array, divide by 10 values in second term, and divide by the root 5 will give you 10 values of the series directly from this, using this operator dot power n. Any questions? This is a program which I have designed using the live editor. Is showing the value here. I can run this program. Run, and you observe it here. If you change the value here to 20, there's a 15. Run this. You got 15 values. Any question? This is the very useful live editor. How do you open the live editor? Just like open X file, you see that here. You can open I have just done all this earlier. I can open a live editor by simply going and typing here open new script, new live script. In the live script, you can actually have, you can have images, you can have text, you can have many things here. As you see in this, so you can insert those things into live script. It's just like an M file program, but along with M file, it also gives you an option. This was M file for the same thing. This was the M file for the same thing, but when I do this, it will show me the result into command window. Yes, this is my command window, Fibonacci.m. It's an M file, whereas there's a MLX file which is also given here in my this particular. I will design the same thing in a library. Only difference is that, okay, let me close this. Only difference is that it has also options for, just like this one is a live script from demos. This live script has an option for inserting. Where was I? Let me close. A lot of windows have been opened here. So just 5 minutes, I think we have to break now. Unfortunately, yeah, this is a live script. It has, you see, this is it has headings, it has bold, it has a lot of this formatted tools. These are the image. I've taken the image here. There's another image, and then finally it has also coding here. And if you see this thing, it also has another image here. So that way you can actually insert those things into the live script, and when you run that, you can see the result. You can also see the result into the view and right this way. So it will show you live editor, and in the result in the right side of the column. Wait a minute. View output on the right. Okay. So live editor and run. Yeah, it should have. It's not showing me. View inline. Okay, so it's something not functioning. I hope you got an idea. First of all, don't worry about live editor. First of all, I just use it for showing you the example. Is it clear to you? This particular problem is clear to you? Somebody asked me in the morning if you generate a series. So, madam, whoever asked in the morning, this is the Fibonacci series that you wanted me to generate. But I did not use any loop. I just used this expression for nth term given by this equation. Am I clear? Say at least yes if you're clear about it. When I'm showing my screen, I can't see your comments. Or if you're not clear, then how to display the first 10 odd terms? For odd terms, you change the n value. This is odd terms, right? When you change the n value, you just see. If you just write this one, what it does? N is equal to 0 to 4. Odd terms means what? Actually, here we start from 0. So this is for n0, the first term will be there. The first term, third term. That way you can generate the odd terms of the series. And then some of the odd terms, you can display some of S1. The question was generate a series in this sheet number 2 and find out the sum of the first 10 odd terms. I just did that with the help of this particular example. Any questions on this? I hope it was not too fast. I think, okay. It's not so difficult. Just you understand the dot. You understand the dot operator? What happens is that this generates n power n. When I do this power n 0 to 9, it will have this dot power n. It will have 10 terms. 10 terms here, minus 10 terms here. These are the 10 terms. If you just do that, it will show you the first 10 terms like this. Here it is. These 10 terms like this. So this way you have this entire series. I hope you understand. Was it clear? So we just covered these are the index. You see that first 10 terms. You can just click on this and see what are those values. So hope it was somewhat clear to you. Let me stop sharing. Sir, can I continue or I have to stop here for the time being?
Sir, thank you for the fundamentals of MATLAB programming.
I can show them plotting also if you have some 10 minutes.
Sir, we have a second session at 12:30 that will be delayed by half an hour. So.
Oh, 12:30 session. Okay. I should not interrupt them. I have another session tomorrow, so I think I can
Yeah,
cover
you,
those.
sir, kindly you can have that remaining portion and the advanced portion of Simulink in tomorrow's session. That will be get pleasure for us.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I didn't realize. Sorry. I'm sorry. I thought there's a lunch after this, so I continued for somewhat, but because of the inauguration program. So anyway, so let me continue this plotting and functions and Simulink. I'll try to cover 3 topics tomorrow: plotting, functions, and Simulink. Right. So it will be a little faster, but you have to be ready with the proper attention, so you can understand. I can share my slides also, notes for
Yes.
your practice.
Yes.
Okay, sir. I'm sorry. I think I thought it's lunch after
No
this.
issue.
So.
No issues. No issues.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank
Yeah,
you
you
very
can
much, sir.
continue.
Thank you very much for enlightening us for the basic fundamentals and introduction to Matlab. And we will hope more knowledge from you from next tomorrow's session also. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. It was nice to be with all of you. So please feel free to ask tomorrow whatever doubts you have. All right, sir. I will leave the session because you have to continue with the next session. Right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So all participants, I want to convey you the message that the session which will be began from 12:30 p.m. we will delay it by half an hour. So it will be started at 1 p.m. Okay, and the session is by the NIT Jalandhar professor. It is about the fundamental Matlab program and its application in thermal engineering. So you can have a break of half an hour, then we will meet again. Thank you. Thank you very much.